Welcome back, my kindred, to Canada by Night, a Vampire the Masquerade live play podcast. Valerie Miller survived her first night of being hunted by her father. She fled into town and begged for sanctuary at her grandparents' house, only to be rejected and driven back. But that night was just the first of the new normal, and with no one to rely on, Valerie realized she would have to dedicate her time to learning more about the world outside her home, and she prepared for her escape. Eventually, she lured her father into a trap and set out on her own. Find out what happened to Val next as we return to the world of darkness.
We continue our journey into the backstory of Val Miller, joined by a new friend, Guy Bradford, joining us for a number of episodes because Laura was unavailable at this time. But that does not change anything about the past of Val Miller. We move to a second era, if you will, of her story. Val, you have escaped your father, leaving him in a hole you dug in the ground, lined with wooden spikes, with the dead bodies of Rick and Maria, the two voices in your head, now joined by the father you left behind as you escaped into the world, and 5 years have passed.
Yeah.
You have been traveling and living off of the streets. You had learned a number of skills from your father and from his companions. Petty theft. Theoretically, you have all the skills for mugging, though you may not have put that together. You've got the ability to steal cars. You're good with fake IDs. You have that sweet, sweet grade 7 education, which means you know cash, but you don't have the traditional bank accounts. You don't have any of the traditional tools to be able to work traditional jobs. You are, or were, a 17-year-old survivalist, bursting out into the world, trying to figure this out, forced to continue, never knowing if your dad was back over your shoulder, never knowing what was after you, with a mind full of scorpions, realistically. The scorpions that you were raised with, having left it all behind. The one thing you haven't done is killed anyone. You've been able to make your living in relative peace. For you, peace. For anyone else, a horrific nightmare that would involve violence and a bunch of strange things over time. Where do you think the journeys took you over these 5 years leading up to 1980?
Valerie would be constantly moving and moving further north. So going from the woods of rural Washington state, heading probably closer towards Seattle, north to that, and then norther into the woods and further on, like staying in cities for long enough until she felt a little comfortable. But being comfortable means it's dangerous. And she would still spend most of her time being up at night, sleeping a tiny bit during the day, the beginning of the morning, and then being awake. So then it's hard to have normal interactions with people even. But she's so scared of her dad just showing up out of nowhere. Anytime she sees a truck that looks similar to his, she will run. She will just keep going and doing any possible way to make money or jobs and lots of stealing. For a while, she had her truck that she had stolen, and she would siphon gas and make her way with that. But as soon as the truck broke down enough, it's like she doesn't know how to fix that. She doesn't have money to get anyone to fix that. That would be wasteful to use the money on that. Just taking her way up, hitchhiking, walking.
Does she bounce between cars she's stolen, or does she end up leaving cars behind over this for this period of time, surviving under overpasses, city streets, shelters, those kind of things?
Yeah, it's. I think she probably thinks about stealing another car, but it seems so big that then it seems safer to be staying near the woods or staying near an outskirts, only going around people when she really needs to.
And you continue this lonely travel, discovering what you already knew, but that the system for people, especially those who live without it, without traditional identification, without the social insurance number or whatever the American equivalent of that is.
Social security.
Social security number. These are different between nations. But you traveled north and thus into Canada because you already started pretty north as your journeys went onwards. And you eventually find yourself in Calgary. And in Calgary, things grow more desperate than they have before.
Yeah.
You obviously have not been eating well. You have been subject to great privation and danger. But in Calgary, there is also the winter.
Yeah.
And without a valid ID, you're in the country as an illegal
Snuck in.
alien.
Yep.
You are here trying to survive as the winter falls. Winter in Calgary is especially brutal and especially murderous. This is the cold element of nature, both in a literal sense and in the metaphorical, leaving you with nothing, which means you can't play with the cash reserves that you have played with previously. And because it is winter, things are more protected. Things are more locked up.
Yeah.
Things have more attention being paid to them, which means petty crime is no longer on the list.
And seeing a single person wander around outside when it's snowing or that cold is way more obvious. And Valerie would be having problems because over that long of years, she's not eating super well. She hasn't been able to take care of herself physically. She's just back to being waifish, and she has long blonde hair that's just ragged, and she just is a unhoused person meandering around in the winter.
And you need to find someone you can take money from, because the darkest times lead to muggings and other more violent and direct forms of crime. With all of your experience on the streets and with all of the training you had when you were younger, who is your ideal target to mug?
An ideal target, I think it would have to be a woman, maybe younger, on the younger end, carrying a purse, because that seems way easier to get to than someone with a wallet or something that's on their person, something that would be easier to grab off of someone and run.
Fabulous. You now have a new stat sheet because you are not a child anymore. You are a 22-year-old unhoused person with a military survivalist background. Can you roll me a wits and larceny?
Yes, I can.
There's a larceny.
There is a larceny skill.
Specifically larceny.
Okay, that's 3 successes.
3 successes. You do spot a woman who is hurrying down the street between shops, clearly heading somewhere else. There's a parking garage at the end of the street. That could be her end zone. You're not entirely sure. And there are a number of alleys along the way between these storefronts facing onto the street, with the shining lights inside flicking off one by one, because it is the end of the day. The sun has set. These businesses are beginning to shut down, and this woman is hurrying towards her car. She appears to be in her late 30s.
Yeah.
Ideally, you'd said you'd wanted somebody younger. This is what circumstance has brought you, along with patience and choosing this neighborhood very carefully for you to be able to make this move. What is your plan for engaging with her?
Plan is definitely to wait in one of the alleys, get near to this lady, do her best to follow exactly in this lady's footsteps so that she's not leaving a trail as much as possible, and just to shove this lady down, grab it, and then double back.
All right. You are going to follow in. Can you roll me a dexterity and a streetwise or a stealth? I would accept either.
I'll do a streetwise. We're going to use the street to the advantage in any way that she can with all of this cold. It's not a great roll. It's just 1 success.
She also has 1 success. So as you advance forwards, you are stealthily moving in her footsteps behind her, matching her pace, leaving no trace. And that's when she instinctively looks back over her shoulder and locks eyes with you.
Yeah.
You realize this is the make or break moment. But if you go for this, instead of bailing out, you realize she will be looking at you and she will know what is happening. What do you do?
This is the best thing that I have found thus far. There's no way to bail out of it. This was already a bad call. So getting spotted is bad. There's no other good option. So I think it's a physical feeling, like I can even a starving Valerie feels like I physically know more than a civilian. I will just shove this lady down, take this and run.
Roll me a strength and brawl.
Okay. There we go. 4 successes, all successes.
4 successes. You knock this lady out of her boots. You shove her so hard, she lands. Her boots are off. You grab the purse and you run.
Run, yeah.
Are you going to a nearby alleyway? Do you have a place in mind? Where would you try to go to escape what you have done here?
It's an alleyway, and then anywhere into a building if there's anywhere abandoned, or just up onto a roof, somewhere where there's no more footprints, or around a corner where she could shove snow or something. She has to cover her own tracks to get away on this one.
Can you roll me a wits and awareness?
It's an awareness. Oh, nothing. 4 dice, no successes.
4 dice, no successes. You have knocked this woman down, and you hear that, where you know she is so winded that she cannot cry for help. She cannot do anything else. And you book it. You book it down the street. You book it past some snow piles. You find an area where the ground has been salted, so there is no snow. So you know you've got a break in the traditional tracks as the snow falls down. And you corner hide.
Yeah.
And it's all perfect, except for the 2 figures who step out of the darkened alley to surround you and pin you in place, not physically with their hands, but to menace you. It is clear there are 2 other unhoused street predators, much like yourself, only clearly they are working together. They are male, they are older, as they step out of the dark, determined to claim the prize that was taken by you because they are in similar circumstances. These 2 criminals are named Joseph Triviani and Tom Yardick. Joseph and Tom, what do you say?
Hey, look what we got over here, Tom.
Thank you, Tom. I'm Tom.
Yeah, that's why I called you your name.
What's Tom's last name?
Yardick.
Tom Yardick?
Yardick, thank
Sometimes goes by Ducky, apparently.
you. Okay,
Thanks, Patreon.
thank you.
Hey, what do we got here, eh, Ducky?
That's a meal right there. That's ours. Hand it over now.
Does Valerie still... I assume she still has some of her weapons that she's carried.
Val, would you have brought or tried to bring a gun across the border?
Across the border, but maybe a knife?
You definitely have a knife. I'm not even going to make you roll for that. You have a knife.
All right. Then slowly looping the corner of the purse over her arm, she's going to try to dash down and low and slice with a knife at Tom's leg and try to get between them and underneath them. It's just like...
Tom and Joseph, can you both roll me a mental roll? Because you're using NPC stats, so
Okay.
roll me a mental.
Oh, geez. I have like 5 dice in my hand. Okay, so that's 1 success.
And I also have 1 success.
Okay. Joseph, you have a pipe. Ducky, you have a knife. They're not out in your hands, but you have them on your person. However, you are dashing through them, attempting to strike. Who are you going to attack? The elderly instigator of violence or the more menacing younger muscle, I guess, to the brains?
Definitely the more menacing one, because if I can get him hurt or regret being punky, then we can reestablish this this relationship.
Alrighty. Roll me a strength and what am I supposed to call it? Spotify always gets angry at me. Strength and melee. There we go. I said melee a lot. And people got really mad for it.
I thought it was melee.
Roll me a strength and melee.
All right, strength and melee. I don't have anything in melee, so it's just 2 dices.
I would accept if this is an extension of yourself, and I think with your training
Yeah.
is you could roll me brawl.
Okay.
And then physical stats for you.
Physical, okay.
It's just 1 success on this end.
3 dice, 3 successes.
Yeah, get punky on her, Ducky.
I got calves of steel down there.
I've seen them. They are steel.
She lashes out to attack your calves of steel,
Yeah.
and you are just quickly popped one in the face, Val, and you find yourself falling backwards, at which point the pipe and the knife come out from these 2 figures looking down at you.
There's no way. It's so frustrating to have trained so long to fight demonic monsters coming out of the woods and to be laid out by these guys. But that seems to be what is happening right now. She's going to scrabble and try to fight back as much as possible, but it's like, this is not a winning battle. This is not a place that she can...
Is Val abandoning the purse, or is it on her, like across her chest, like it's on her?
It's on her. I think she's going to try for a little longer to stay and scrappily fight it out, but it seems not good.
If you're trying to get away and the purse is attached to you, Tom's following. Tom's gonna basically try to go for the knife that you've got out still.
Yeah.
To just keep that safe, and then he's gonna try. I think it's gonna be like one arm to try and pin down knife and one arm to try and grab like a leg. If you're down
Yeah.
low, he's going to try and grab you so you can't run or lash out.
Yeah.
He wants that bag really bad.
And Tom had which weapon?
Who's the knife?
Tom had a knife.
Had a knife also.
Yeah. So the two hands, he's got the knife in between his teeth, like pirate style. He's holding the knife in his teeth as he tries to restrain you.
This will be a competing grapple. So
Great.
can you both roll me? I think you have brawl as a specialty as a criminal, if I am correct.
Just special skills are +2. So you would tell me.
So
I guess,
add that to
whether-
your brawl. This would be a wrestle. And and if I can get a strength and brawl from you,
Yes.
unless you have a different pitch for this. Strength and athletics would also be possible for you, Val.
I'm thinking strength and athletics because as this is going on, she is going to try dropping her knife so he can take her knife, and then she's going to try to squirm and kick this knife that's in his face.
Okay, punch the knife into his mouth. Let's go for it. That's gnarly.
It's 2 successes for Valerie.
3 successes for Tom.
You attempt to do this, Val, but you find yourself unarmed, having lost your knife, and trapped as they take this purse off of you.
Yeah.
It is claimed by you, Joseph. You've got this purse, finally.
Well. Let's take a look at the spoils of war, shall we?
And I'm going to open it up.
As you look inside, you find the ID of Bryn Vale, a woman who seems very secretary-ish in a 1980s kind of way, and you find $420 in cash, along with 2 credit cards.
Jesus.
Hey, look at this. 102. Hey, 420. Get it? Hey, Ducky.
Oh, that's a payday right there.
Hey.
Let's get out of here. That's perfect. Let's get out of here.
And
Wait.
that's when you realize, looking at this wallet as you continue, there is a business card for David Vale, a detective in the Calgary Police Department. And you realize this lady, whose purse this is married to a cop. You've got the cash, but the only thing IDing you to this is Val.
Right. Oh, shit.
What?
You didn't touch anything on this purse, did you?
No. What
No?
is it?
No, nothing at all.
And I pocket the money and I throw the purse back at you.
Here you go. Have a nice day, lady. Hey.
Fuck you guys too.
Well, that wasn't nice.
Let's get out of here, Joe.
Well, yeah. Got it, Ducky.
Just gonna give Val like a shove, just letting you go, but needs to create distance so you don't like lunge back at us or anything. Leaving the purse with you. Tom trusts Joe, but obviously doesn't have the full picture yet. But credit cards thrown back at her. We kept the cash. That's great. $400. Great. Shoves Val away. Like, we've got what we need.
And they're making their way away. Val, they have the cash. What do you do?
This is just looking through the purse for anything else of value.
And you find credit cards,
Yeah.
and you find the ID, and you find the business card of the husband.
Fuck. Okay. There's nothing else in there, huh? What kind of purse is this? Is this purse worth money?
This is a pink synthetic leather purse. The quality is low.
I think it is just taking this and throwing it on the ground. There's credit cards and shit everywhere that's just going into the snow and just like, fuck. It's just so frustrating because it feels like things made sense and were simple before, and now it just feels like nothing ever has made sense or works out. It just feels like everything is hard for no reason at all. Like, yeah, random people on the street can beat her up. It's just infuriating.
Yep, and the wind is whistling around you as the snow continues to fall. 2 now super rich, unhoused individuals have escaped into the night with the spoils of your crime, leaving you in the cold, perhaps to die tonight with no way out, not enough clothes. Frostbite already begin to set in at your extremities. And that's when you hear a voice say, "Well, that didn't exactly work out for you."
Val hears the voice and then scrambles to try and get her knife, which she realizes she doesn't even have. And she's just backed up against a wall and like, yeah, thanks.
And you look into the shadows and you see the lit end of a cigarette and a fedora-style cap resting on a head inside a big winter coat as this figure leans back against the wall. And he says, your knife's over there, if that's what you're looking for. Points to the ground where it's been kicked away a few feet from you.
How far is he from the knife?
He's about 10 feet from the knife. You're about 5.
She's going to slowly sidle over to the knife, looking at this guy. What do you want?
You got some moves on you, but clearly you don't know what you're trying to do here. You're living a hard life.
I'm just surviving.
That's what we're all trying to do. So, it seems like you're willing to fight to make money, but are you? Fighting what you do?
If I have to.
I might need somebody. I run a gym. We train fighters. We do all this kind of stuff, but you got enough heart? Seems like you're running from something. You ever run towards something?
What's that supposed to mean? What's the catch?
Well, I mean, you're going to have to fight for money. I run a boxing gym, and there aren't a ton of prospects here in Calgary in the 80s. Not a lot of people are looking to train. You've clearly got some mean on you. You don't got any muscle. It seems like you're committing some crimes, but this honestly takes his hat off. You can see kind of patrician features. He's lean. He's sharp-eyed. He doesn't feel like Calgary. Mm-hmm. You've been in the city long enough to have an idea of what it feels like. For those of us in the future, he looks vaguely like Everett Fry. But he's looking at you and he says, honestly, the scam is that it sounds like a scam. It ain't, but nobody's taking this deal unless they're desperate because it is not a great gym. I need a champion. I need some people who know how to move. I need people who know what they're doing. And I could find a lot of soft people. I find a lot of executives, kids who are coming in for a week and don't want to train. And I find a lot of people who ask for an amount of money that I can't pay for them to learn how to professionally fight. You already seem to be doing the fighting. And you got skills. I think you're starving. Somebody fed you. You get bigger fast. You get mean fast. You could get capable fast.
You cop.
Not entirely. As I said, I run a gym. I'll give you a card. You can come by and check it out if you want. Or you can stay out here and keep doing this till you got to kill somebody or somebody's got to kill you.
You buy me dinner, I'll think about it.
All right.
Okay. It's like, I don't care. I'm so hungry. I don't care anything past this. But if I can get this out of this guy without getting stabbed or hit, we're doing okay.
Yeah, and he walks you down the street and around a corner until you find a fast food place, and he buys you a meal and sits quietly while you eat it until he slides a card in front of you. And you can see on it, it says Rufus Cross, boxing trainer, Cross's Gym.
Is there an address on it?
Yes, it has the address of Cross's Gym. It's in Calgary.
Yay. Well, just because...
It's away from downtown. It's towards the outskirts of town. It's clearly in an area that is not doing well and has not gentrified even in the 1980s sense of gentrified. You would recognize it as being at the outskirts. You don't know that area specifically.
Yeah. She'll take that and not. It's just like, how much can she trust random guy who's like, hey, you punch good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he'll look at you and just say, you can come on out if you want, or you can not if you don't. That's entirely your choice. I hope I'll see you there. If I do, I do. If I don't, good luck to you.
Thanks, Mr. Rufus.
Most people would go with Mr. Cross or just Rufus, but you can call me whatever you like. I need a fighter, not someone who's polite. And he gets up to go, and that's when you may spot something. Can you roll me a wits and awareness?
Wits and awareness. That's 2 successes.
2 successes. You catch the glint of a gold chain around his neck. And you see at the end of it is a figure of Saint Raphael.
Oh.
The turtle?
Saint Raphael. I don't think does he exist in 1980? I don't think he exists yet, but in the sense of the turtle. There you go. Comic book does. But no, you see Saint Raphael, the one that nearly is identical, as far as you can tell at a quick glance, to the broken necklace in your pocket that Grams and Grandpa gave you back in the day. And he's gone. He heads outside.
I think that strikes Val because she doesn't believe in religion. She was told all of that stuff is fake and not true, but it seems a very strange coincidence. And she's going to stay in that fast food restaurant until closes. Like, I will stay here.
You get a couple hours.
Food, yes.
Clear the cold. You bought enough food. You get the feeling that Rufus Cross may have left a tip to buy you some extra time to sit indoors until you were turned out at midnight.
Yeah.
You're back in the cold Calgary streets. What do you do?
I think she's gonna head towards that side of town and scope out what exactly everything is. Because what else is she going to do? She has nowhere else to go.
It is true. You are a little bit trapped in this. Can you roll me a wits and streetwise?
Yes. Oh, no. I got 1 success and 2 ones. So that's -1 success.
-1. You make your way across town trying to get to this area, but the snow is falling so fast and it is so cold and the wind is so biting that you cannot see anything. And by the time you are there, you are close to freezing. There is no more time to scout.
Yeah. Then is there a dumpster? We got to find something to go into away from the cold, at least slightly, and then hope she doesn't die overnight.
Great. Roll me a wits and streetwise to see if you can find a dumpster or place to sleep.
That is 1 success. It's a rough time out here.
1 success. You are searching for dumpsters and searching to try to find some small area of cover, only they are chained up. This is not a good area of town where people have confidence until you find yourself trapped in an alcove at the edge of a building trying to cover yourself with the remnants of cardboard boxes around you to just keep some heat in as you find yourself shaking and shivering in the darkness, unable to see what's going on, unable to tell what you should be doing. And eventually you pass out. And you find yourself waking up indoors with 2 figures standing over you.
Well,
No, not those figures.
Yeah.
You find yourself waking up inside what looks like the locker room of a... It's the locker room of a gym. I'm trying to think of how much you'd actually be aware of this environment. You haven't experienced gyms.
Nope.
You didn't experience high school. It looks, as far as you can tell, like a tremendously poorly designed bank vault.
Right.
You've seen individual lockers before. These are laid out around you. You are on the floor. You are on a pile of towels that have been crudely laid out for you, wrapped in blankets. You have winter jackets thrown over you. You have these other items. And the door to the sauna is open, and there is heat and steam pouring out of it into the room. Over you, you are seeing 2 people about your age. They are both fit, not supremely fit, not necessarily professional athlete fit, but they are fit. The first, not that you know their names, they know them. The first is simply named John Doe, and he is nearly 6'5", and he's about 240. Just big power lifter style muscles. You can see at the age of 22, he's built. Not in an Arnold Schwarzenegger way, not in a pro way, but seems to be well on the path down that line. And the other you're looking at is Robin Blackthorne, who is wirier, has more of a kind of boxer-ish vibe about him. They are both fully dressed. You're seeing the sweatpants for training. When you look at John, you can see the big hoodie, the what do they call it, the pump cover, where it's just he's in there. Whereas Robin is in training shorts. He's got a tank top on. His hands are wrapped up as though he's fresh from sparring. Whereas John, who's much larger, is again, fully covered, sweatpants, the pump cover hoodie. They're both back there, clearly looking at you, not entirely sure if you are alive. What is she hearing as she wakes up? The two of you found her outside on your way in the early morning to train and realized she was going to die. So you hauled her in here in this improvised setup to try to warm her up.
I don't know, John. What about, I don't know, we could run the showers, Just like run all the showers on hot and just kind of bring her in there, maybe?
Yeah, that's a good idea, Robin. I think the moisture will be good for bringing her back from the brink. I'm gonna turn all the knobs.
Okay, yeah, you get all the showers going. I'm gonna go take a look and see if she's doing okay in there.
Yeah, okay, you got a heart of gold there, Robin.
Shut up.
Val, you wake up to hear this as they hurry and turn all the showers on. You are realizing you are here. You are still fully clothed, clearly safe, not in any direct danger from these people. But this is a very strange circumstance. All of your hands and feet, your skin, it's all pins and needles as you begin to feel warmth permeate the very edges of your body.
This is just, I think for a bit, she's just staying still, not moving, listening to what's going on, trying to figure out where she is, the location. It's again like, why am I not just dead? Why didn't awful things come and kill me in the night when I am this weak? Why am I indoors? But none of this makes sense to her.
Yep, and that's when a smaller figure dashes in. He's just a small guy, about 13 years of age, lanky, also dressed to work out, but in that weird mismatched, it feels like it's all clothing from the Lost and Found because it is all clothing from the Lost and Found. He's got a headband on that's neon pink and a bunch of mismatched clothing. And he runs in. This is Jack Runway for anybody who is familiar with the gym. And he crouches down and is like, oh, is she okay? Okay. He takes your hand, Val. He says, I don't know what your name is, but like, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. You're at the gym. You're across this gym. Everyone here is really nice. We're going to make you so warm. Please don't die. Please don't die. I do not want to have anybody die in here. This is the one place where nobody dies. You're going to be okay.
Jack.
Yeah.
Jack, get away from her.
I'm just touching. It's just.
Get out of here.
Okay. And Jack dashes out.
I brought some hot towels. Would you like me to apply them to your forehead, miss?
You awake now?
Yeah, I guess I'm not gonna die.
Huh. No, of course not. We wouldn't let that happen to you.
Where am I? The gym?
Yeah, you're across his gym.
Fuck, okay.
Are you new or something? You know the gym, but I don't recognize you.
Yeah, I haven't seen you around Calgary, and I go around Calgary a lot.
I don't get out a lot. I just heard about the gym.
Well, you've been out a lot tonight, kid. Kid? I don't even...
We're like about the same age, I think, Robin. It's weird calling her a kid.
Well, I can't,
She's bundled up as Valerie pulls her hat off, revealing herself to be about the same age as the rest of you.
And the hair and all, like...
Yeah, you do look kind of like... I don't know. I don't have a kind word for it. Grizzled? Are you doing okay?
Yeah. Just thinking of like, well, I have escaped into Canada. No one can search my first name.
Correct.
So just, I'm Valerie.
Hey, Valerie. I'm Robin.
Hi, I'm John.
This
it's
is
nice
John.
to meet you. And this little
You've
guy.
already met Jack?
Yeah, Jack Runway.
I'm outside. Don't worry. I can hear from outside the door.
Jack. Coffee, Jack.
Okay. How many?
Just hot drinks, Jack.
Oh, yeah, got it. Jack goes off. You hear him scampering away through a closed door that closes the last inch where he was holding it open to hear what's happening.
Jack's 13, but he has a heart of gold.
Shut up, John.
Okay.
I've heard that before. What does that mean?
There's a lot of good people in Calgary. You just gotta find them. Why? What do you mean? There's not good people here?
I don't know if I know any good people.
Oh.
Do you want to change into something clean, warm. Maybe seems like you got a lot to talk about if you're up for talking. How are you feeling?
Coffee'd be good.
Okay, coffee's on its way.
Jack bursts in through the door. Okay, I got a coffee. He's got the coffee pot in one hand and a handful of mugs in the other. Okay, here you go. This is for you. He hands you a mug. Val.
Take coffee. I'm sitting. This is a pile of blankets, just slowly warming up.
You guys want a coffee?
I love a coffee. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. Here's coffee for you. Pours another one hurriedly. For you?
I'm good, Jack. Thank you.
Okay, this one's for me. He pours himself a coffee. He stands there holding the mug. I'll be ready for refills.
All right. Thanks, Jack.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jack. Go on, Jack.
Oh, okay. I'll go. Stay warm. I'm going. And he exits.
Sorry. Are you okay?
I'll be okay.
Okay. Is there anyone we can call? We were going to call the cops.
Yeah.
Don't. I'm meant to be here. Mr. Cross told me to show up.
Oh, you know Mr. Cross?
Yeah, you know Mr. Cross?
That's right, she does. You turn and see him standing next to the door, leaning against the wall, looking at the scene. So you came.
Yeah, I thought about what you said in her head, like, as I was dying outside.
Seems like you didn't do so well on your way here. You brought her in?
Yeah. John spotted her, and I was going to chase her off. I thought she was, one of those other guys, around here who's kind of, they're dicks to people, right? And they hassle people. They hassle, people going to their cars and stuff. And she, wasn't asleep. She was, I'm sorry, lady, you were not in good shape. She was not in good shape, Mr. Cross.
She was tucked away all in cardboard. She looked like a little cherub.
Slow as coffee slurping.
Yeah, makes sense. She's had a rough time, so she's starting training here.
Oh, hey, cool.
Huh, you can spot me. That would be cool.
Yeah, we're going to keep this pretty simple because she's joining the house. So this is John.
Hello.
He's our bodybuilder.
Mm-hmm.
This is Robin. He does the boxing. Jack, who's listening at the door. I'll go. I don't care if you go, Jack. It's fine. You're here, and it's fine. He does errands for everybody, helps out where he can. I think we got our first a lady boxer going to join this here. She's kickboxer, boxer, jiu-jitsu. I don't know what she's capable of. I saw her throw down, and it was ugly.
Oh.
Give her a little more training. I think we get something real special here.
You can scrap, huh?
You've got a fighter's heart?
I learned some fighting.
Oh.
Can't wait.
So these two will show you around the gym, show you what's going on. We'll get you a training program put together, and you can stay at the house that's attached to the manager's office up top. We got an apartment with a couple extra beds. If you want to train, you can train. You want to go, you can go. This ain't some sort of weird ownership thing. Nobody signs anything. It's all handshakes. But I'll feed you, I'll house you, and I'll train you.
I'll train.
Perfect. Teacher, what you know?
All right. Let's get some egg protein in you. It's good to build more mass.
Wait, like now, Mr. Cross? Right now?
I mean, it's up to her, but when she warms up, start teaching.
All right.
I'm not afraid of a little training.
Okay. We'll let you warm up, and then we'll warm you up, and then I'll show you how to fight.
And it is a weird day for all of you.
Yes.
Val, you're walked through the gym over the course of the day, and you realize this is a rough-looking but very effective setup. There's a massive weight section. It's got all the machines, but it's mainly free weights. And when you look around, you can see that this is pretty sparse in terms of gyms. There also are not a lot of trophies on the walls. There are not a lot of banners celebrating things. It's clearly a bit of an improvised space inside a warehouse that has been converted into this gym. There are boxing areas set up, but all the equipment that is here is very high quality and very good for what it does.
Yeah.
None of this is flashy. There's nothing here to show anything off. It is all the minimum setup required. It is 5 a.m. The sun is not up. Everybody got here really early, and there are no clientels. When you look at the front door, you can see that It opens at 7. But these are the core group who are simultaneously warming themselves up for a day of training and at the same time prepping the space, cleaning things off, prepping the front counter, putting everything together. There is an apartment upstairs. There's a small manager's office where Rufus Cross does his admin, where it's kind of the traditional office setup you would see in any of these. It's got the metal desk drawers and a shitty little desk, and it's poorly lit, and there's no window, and it seems completely soulless with a calculator on the desk. But next to that is a much larger space that was probably the actual office. Rufus Cross may be working out of a closet, but there was an actual office that's been converted into a very comfortable, cozy apartment. Everything in here has been reclaimed from somewhere else. This is a dumpster-dived, decorated apartment. None of the chairs match. The table doesn't match the rest of the room. Random lamps. They clearly have different bulbs of varying quality in them. Some of them blinking, some of them very warm, some of them very cold light. There are pictures on the walls. There are newspaper things that have just been tacked up, pieces from magazines that may be some kind of aspirational hope of just vacation destinations thumbtacked to the wall. And there are 2 bunk beds in the back room, along with a very small bathroom, so people can have their own privacy here. If you consider the equivalent of an airplane bathroom stall your privacy. One of these bunks is not used. That becomes yours. Are you a top bunk or a bottom bunk person?
I think it's a top bunk. I think it's a top bunk person that feels like bitter room oversight. Definitely worrisome about the person underneath. But Val's keeping different hours than other people if possible because she does not feel comfortable sleeping during the night.
Yep, it's your first day, but can you roll me a D10? I need a single bed check.
10.
Great, a top bunk is available. That's what you get. So you are sleeping over Jack Runway.
Okay.
You're sleeping over him.
That's a little less scary, let's
exactly.
say. Yes.
You think the guy who's running around and you watched fall down with a coffee pot.
I could take the 13-year-old.
Yeah, he's a bit less threatening to you. And you settle in for your first training sessions with your 2 new expert coaches. Rufus disappears after these first 2 hours and the place is open. He clearly expects his trio to run this place. And you're realizing that will probably be expected of you once you figure out what's going on in terms of the front desk. But you have your egg proteins. Is there anything else you would add to breakfast, Robin?
I'm thinking about 1980 health mindset coming out of the 70s. I think eggs are great. I think he would also, he'd be frying up some bacon. I think it's like more protein. Protein is where it's at, kind of thing. And he'd be making tea, like green tea.
Great. And Jack is coffee and toast. He is trusted with nothing else.
Yeah.
And he for each of you. All right, Valerie, John. Your toast is okay. Robin, yours is burnt.
It's always burnt. I told him a long time ago, I'll take the burnt ones.
Yeah. And you get the burnt ones. And the day begins, and you have time to work with both of your new trainers. What kind of weight training? Here's an interesting question, I think. Between the two of you, would you start a day with weight training and end it with boxing, or would you start it with boxing and end it with weight training?
How many people do we get to train usually? Is this kind of like a big time first crack
this is
at
the
it?
first person you've had.
The
Rufus trains you two. This
Yeah.
is your turn to pass along some knowledge.
Okay. I don't know about John, but I think Robin like boxing first. Like I want this person's best. I don't want them tired when I train them.
That makes sense. It does actually. Yeah, you don't you don't want any like strains or anything when you get into the ring. So let's box. Let's box. I'll help.
Great.
However I can.
Robin, I need to know your fight record. Can you roll me 3d10?
Yay.
3d10. 2 10s and a 1.
All right, you're 2-0.
Okay.
Of the 3 fights that you have done up to this point. So you've got a solid record for an amateur, like an exceedingly amateur boxer going into this sport. You work through the bags. You've got it all there. Would you spar?
Yes. Immediately, yes.
The bags are worked for 45 seconds. The bags come out and are not even used. You end up in the sparring ring.
Came out with the bag. Oh, okay.
Valerie, would you be staying in your outfit from the streets, or would you switch over to what could be found in the Lost and Found?
Definitely the Lost and Found, if possible, just because it's going to be newer, less holes in it, less dirty.
What would you like to be wearing? In her dream zone, what's the perfect outfit?
In the dream zone, the perfect outfit is something that is a military style, because it is lasts long time, heavy duty, that kind of. That's what she's used to seeing and wearing.
All righty, let's roll a wits and awareness.
Okay. Oh my word! 4 successes.
Nice.
Fabulous. Describe the 4 pieces of your new outfit.
Great. Then Valerie has heavy duty cargo pants that are like dark gray cargo pants, a white t-shirt, a black button-up t-shirt that she could wear over that, and then a military green jacket.
Fantastic. You have that outfit on as you step into the ring. Can you paint us a picture of what you look like having had a chance to clean yourself up a little bit, as much or as little as you want, in terms of, like, would you cut your own hair? Where does that end up? Mm-hmm. And in this outfit, so we can picture you stepping into this boxing ring.
Yeah. At first, she wouldn't cut her hair until, well, because Valerie doesn't know what boxing is. So Valerie would just step into this.
It's a ring with ropes.
It's a square ring with ropes. Well, she just heard we do fighting. So she's just like, we'll do some fighting. But so she still has her hair. It's just long and unkempt. It's past her shoulders. It's sort of wavy. But now you can tell it's blonde once it's washed, because it's not just dark from dirt and debris. And she's 5'8". She's on the skinnier side at this point, but so the clothes are hanging off of her a bit. But as she steps in, she takes off the big jacket and the overshirt, so she's just in pants and a t-shirt, coming to be like, "So you just want me to fight you?"
Yeah, that's sparring. Have you sparred before? I can tell you've been in fights, but
yeah, I've fought.
But sparring, like with rules and stuff, or just kind of
what,
like knock down, drag out fighting?
Fighting doesn't have rules.
Oh, you're gonna be so much fun, Valerie. Oh man. Okay. Well, you know what? I promised Mr. Cross that I would teach you boxing and like the rules of boxing. So we'll do. It's punching only. How's that for starters? See these? And he's got the boxing gloves on. These are for protection.
It's like the moment that he's like, it's this and it's punching only. Valerie's training is like, punch him now.
Yeah.
So see these, roll me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I get a strength or dexterity and brawl? And the same from, I think dexterity and brawl makes the most sense for you. Or if it's just, this would be, because I think you've got a gym character.
Specialty brawl.
Just roll brawl.
I'm rolling with a pool of 7.
Yep, roll brawl.
So I'll do strength and brawl. It's the voice of Rick in her head that's just like, you can't, that's not how you fight people.
Add 2 dice to your pool, Val, for this ambush.
Okay.
Because I don't think anyone expects to get punched in the face while discussing the rules.
4 successes.
Ooh, 3 successes.
All right,
Robin.
Val, you take your swing at Robin. What kind of punch are you throwing, and where is it directed?
It's a kiddie punch. It's just right nailing him. Try to make him crumple and go down. That's the.
You take that swing and you manage to tag him where you are aiming, but Robin has been trained and instinctively is moving away, so it's smarted, but it was not an immediate knockout in this battle.
Counterpunch. I was like, we've started.
Yeah. Brawl, let's do this. Do you know what? For the sake of this battle, we will do 3 rounds of this in a row for this sparring match. But for round 1, you just hear Jack go, round 1! He rings the bell over in the corner.
Yeah. He's ringing the bell, but before that, as like it occurs to Robin what is happening with the swing of the counterpunch, he also just says, ding! Like this is really going to be fun for him. Ding!
Great.
Now I've got
Roll
4.
away. Let's do it.
3 successes.
We're not doing crits yet.
No. Well, I mean, if you got multiple 10s.
I do. I have 2 10s.
Then you do. Crits exist no matter what.
Okay,
It's
so
not messy.
5 successes.
5 successes. Valerie, you start this, going for the kidney punch and coming in, and you are watching Robin tagging you back. The thing you are not used to in terms of this tremendously limited fighting is you are stuck battling your own urges because you want to go for a leg. You want to kick.
Yeah.
You want to pin a foot down and hit him in the face. Like you are stopping and starting. It's the worst version of combat improv where you're like, I'm going to do the 4th idea I have instead of the first idea. And Robin is hitting you with idea number 1 every time. Would Robin, because this fight started dirty and he is currently winning, what is his style of winning?
I have decided silently at this table, it's 1980. Robin is a boxing-focused kind of guy. Bruce Lee has just passed away a couple years ago, and he is a Bruce Lee fanatic. He loves Bruce Lee. He loves the idea of the 1-inch punch. It's so cool. He hits guys once, and they are done. And he the sounds that he makes, right? It's the generation of kung fu movies now where everything is, wow, wow. He's just whooping and hollering while peppering you with these punches. He loves Bruce Lee. And Bruce Lee is like kicking and mixed martial arts, right? The very, very early onset of the idea of like taking the best of other styles and putting them together into something that's actually truly efficient. But he's focusing on boxing today. So he's just doing punches. And just like if you can see his face, like to clock his expression, beaming. Huge smile on his face.
Yeah.
It's like round 1, you might kick his ass in these next 2 rolls. He would still be smiling. He's missing an incisor, and he's just having the time of his life.
Yep. And outside, Jack. Oh, I don't know who's going to win, John. Who do you think? Who's your money on?
Well, I haven't seen Valerie getting her name used to my mouth. I haven't really seen her fight, so I don't know. So my money, I'm putting it on Robin. Plus, those sounds are crazy.
Yeah, he really likes making those sounds. All right, I'll bet you toilet duty for a week. If you're betting on Robin, I'll bet on Valerie.
What?
Or one of us has to clean the toilet, and then every week it's me. I bet this week it could be you if you lose.
I don't know. You're pretty good at toilet cleaning. I feel like you should bet for something else.
Well, what do you want to bet for?
Coffee. You get me some if you win. And if you lose, I get myself coffee.
Okay. As he watches the fight and sees Val losing, he realizes if he loses, he has to get John coffee, but if he wins, he doesn't. So he's okay with his bet. He's betting on Valerie, and we'll see how this plays out. Round 2. Ding.
Yeah.
Or Kia, as the case may be.
Yeah.
It's only 2 successes.
Oh. This one is evening out a little. 2 successes over here also.
Things are starting to even out. The sounds aren't distracting you anymore. You're finding yourself matching his footwork. Also, Robin is showing off a little bit and bouncing up and down. Mm-hmm. You're realizing there is talent. There's clearly both a talent, a skill, and an experience with Robin, but he's also playing here, and Valerie doesn't play the same way in combat.
He's also aping what he's seen someone do in the movies, too, where it's scripted that they will win.
Yes.
So he's bouncing off his feet, and you're realizing if you can get in while he's in the air, while he's not grounded and able to move, that's where you can land punches. Once he's on the ground, his skill set is keeping you away. Though you are able to make him shy a little bit more from your hits because you are bare knuckle boxing and hitting him in the torso, and he is gloved sparring with you trying to show off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it gives Valerie weird feelings because it is that he's having fun and he seems entertained by this, which strikes her a bit because she understands that. She understands that, like, that love of training, or that, like, it can be fun to fight, but it has been trudged into her over so many years of, like, you fight to murder people, you fight to kill, and that is all. And so it's the dissonance of it, of sort of enjoying a little bit that he's enjoying himself, but also just trying to focus in and be like, only punches. No, only punching.
And you hear Jack yelling from the side, "You can do it, Valerie. If you win, I have to get John coffee."
Yeah, go do your best, both of you. It really does not matter to me.
The fight continues. This third and final round.
Nope, there's one success.
Oh, dear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
And in this final round, Valerie, you hear this cheer. You're confused by John's even enthusiasm for
Who are these people?
not caring who wins.
That's crazy.
Just a thing to have happen, which is a staggering idea to you. And you have that moment of internal reflection, which is a poor choice as you are hit twice in the torso, once in the head, twice again, and an uppercut in the head. And you find yourself dazed on your back on the mat.
Yeah.
And you have these three figures over you as you come back to reality. And Jack says, wow, that was great. I can't believe it. John, you have to get your own coffee.
Oh, rats.
You did so good.
Yeah, I lost.
Nobody beats Robin. He's too good. Except for Mr. Cross and some professionals. Sorry, Robin.
No, that was great. You were fantastic. I can tell. I can see when Mr. Cross sees in you. This was a lot of fun. Do you want to try again? Put gloves on? I'll let you hit me a little more.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yeah? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack, go get the gloves.
Yeah, this is going to be great.
Oh, and can you give me some coffee too?
Oh, yeah, of course. I'll be right back, John.
Thanks.
We're all going to be best friends. And Jack runs away, and a new era of beautiful friendship for Valerie Miller begins.
This episode of Canada by Night features the voices of Tyler Hewitt, Del Borovic, and Guy Bradford, alongside storyteller Ryan LaPlante. This episode was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra. Canada by Night's artwork was created by Del Borovic at delborovic.com. That's DELBOROVIC.com. And our ad breaks use the tracks No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR. All of their music is available at freemusicarchive.org. Canada by Night is a spin-off of the Dum Dums and Dice series Blood and Syrup. If you want to hear about what happened to Everett before he came to New Haven, look for Blood and Syrup anywhere podcasts can be found. For all things Dum Dums and Dice, including merchandise and how to join our Patreon, you can visit dumdumdice.com or find us on social media at dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. Sleep well, my kindred. Sleep well in this world of darkness.
Dum Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: Christopher Little, George Dolby, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Flynn1138, Alarain Okapi, Schrodinger's Pepper, Madre de Gatos, Lady Maiden, Nithrian, Garbo Ape, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dagger Rain, Rob L, Dia De Los Hoodless, Squishy Werewolf, Remy Funky Head, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lael, Shulzari, The Long Family, Jordan Oliver, Richard Wright, Brittany Fenwick, Alex Parr, Dragonfly, Megan Werner, A Man Out of Time, Curtis at FingerTechRobotics.com, Panda24NN, Shendra D, Your Homeboy Bones, Ellis Hatch, Odigenous, Beef Not Cheese, Kai Koa, Squire Solaire, Sandy Sassy Pants, Adam, Amira Lockhart, James Molina, Nick Hemsing, Alex LaFountain, Mickey Blake, Seth Cambron, Corpse Knight Silver, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.